Hey guys, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Mortal Realms magazine issue. This week we're on issue number 11, but before I jump into that, I just want to say I hope you're all doing well. If you like the videos, of course, hit the like button down below, all that type of stuff, subscribe, whatever. But if you feel like you need to have a talk about anything, whether it's hobby, whether it's Mortal Realms related, comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can, and let's get a conversation going and, you know, a bit more of a community and stuff like that. Right, so now jumping into everything we're getting this week. This week, although it is craziness in the real world, we have some pretty cool stuff. We've got first 2 sprues for the Sigmar Mausoleum. This is enough to get you 3 buildings and 2 fences built up, which is pretty cool. I'm quite happy with it. It's good to have these buildings. It adds some 3D terrain to what you want to do. You have got a couple of spare parts at the moment, but you need to keep them because they will be needed later on. So you've got 2 gates, 1 on each sprue. Keep them because you're going to need them and you're going to want them later on. Right, let's jump into the magazine, shall we? So, starting off, of course, as per usual, we're on about storm hosts and everything like that. So each storm host is divided into several smaller organisations known as chambers. There are many different types of chambers, so from strike chambers to extremist chambers, but each chamber has warriors belonging to conclaves. Each conclave is made up of a particular warrior type. For instance, you'll have a conclave that's mainly Stormcast Secretors, or you'll have Castigators, or you'll have things like the Knights Azeros and stuff like that. So you have different conclaves that are all different to each one, that are kind of more specific to each warrior type. So for instance, like the Ordinators and stuff like that, so your siege weapons, your ranged weapons and everything like that, which is pretty cool. Then on the next page, when it's not coming away from the spine and the glue, you got information about your things like your Hallowed Knights. So if you've ever read any of the books, Lord Celestin, Guard of Steel Soul, was the leader of one of the leaders of Hallowed Knights, and he was known for his preference to fight alongside his men while on foot. And a lot of these other officers share that same trait, so they also choose. The Lord Celestin is also the one who chooses the colour of the plume that his warriors wear to battle, and things like that. So they're kind of they more have a choice of their heraldry. So of course you've got information about the Hallowed Knights, not much, but their colour scheme. So if you not painted your Stormcast, or you want to paint them slightly different, or you get more and you want to do them in different ways, you've got things like the Hallowed Knights, Celestial Knights who wear a blue armour, Fists of Sigmar, the Knights of the Aurora, and the Azerite Arbiters, who all have different colour combinations, which are pretty cool, and it's always nice to see different ones. I mean, the ones I do are the Lions of Sigmar, if I remember rightly. I've completely forgotten. But yeah, and they wear purple and gold, which is pretty cool. Which is, well, I quite like that idea, and I've done my own take on them a little bit. You've got part 1 from the Stormcast Eternal story. So this is giving you history and background over the Stormcasts. So from the beginning, from kind of like the beginning and the age of myth. So from where Sigmar was just kind of helping out the scattered tribes of mankind, he helped guide them. So they rose from just being savages to mastering stone, metal and fire through many centuries, and they formed a civilization essentially. So kind of like what we're kind of, in a way, what real world life kind of started off from. We started off from tribes and went on to forming cities and building cities and this massive expanse of humankind all around the world. But then things take a darker turn and the forces of chaos start to come forward out of the void, and Sigmar abandoned his rule over the mortal realms. During this time though, after a long wait, he brought forward the Stormcast Eternals. So it's all about the birth of the Stormcast, which is pretty cool, which is always nice to have some more information and backstory if you want to learn about the lore behind the mortal realms. Then we move on to information about the forces of death. Nagash's power, of course, brought a lot of kind of mythological beasts and creatures and everything like that to him, and he created a lot of them. He provides he uses Mortarchs, which are kind of like Lord Celestants, for Legions of Death, going through. There's information in here about some of the new, not a lot of information, but about things like the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, who only came out last year, which are a cool little they look a bit weird, but they look a bit cool at the same time. The little skeletal soldiers. So some of their units are absolutely nuts, some of them are a bit and a bit boring, but they're pretty cool. So they're kind of like your more organised, disciplined troops from Nagash. The Flesh Eater Courts, which are more cannibalistic, they are there to literally go nuts and literally wipe things out as they go. And then of course the Nighthorns, led by Lady Olinda, the Mortarch of Grief. They're all your spiritual warriors that we've been getting with this magazine, which is pretty cool, and I'm quite happy with that. That is detailing more about the different legions of death. Then we've got Battle of Bone and Ash, so a bit of story over one of the battles on a different realm, not in Shyish, it's on the plains of Akshai, between Nagash's legions and the Chamber of Celestial Vindicators, which is pretty cool. So it's a little bit different. It's pretty damn good. It's always good to have a read of different battle stories and stuff like that from within Mortal Realms. And the artwork's pretty cool as well. I quite like the artwork. The artwork's definitely good. How to build slightly different, because you haven't got everything that you need to build the entirety of everything. Once again, it's telling you, keep hold of them gates. You're going to need them later on, so don't chuck it away. But yeah, as you can see, you can build 3 buildings, so you've got that building there, that building there, that building there. This will detail how you build them. So where it is red is parts that we don't have yet. So this is the complete building of the entire Sigmarite Mausoleum. So you've got none of the bases so far. We haven't got that statue, or the crypts that are kind of left here as well, and little kind of like spire part from one of the buildings. We also get kind of more of a bigger look of a layout of the Sigmarite Mausoleum. So if I turn it around here, as you can see, we've got everything that's in kind of like full colour and not in red. So everything in red is stuff that is to come, apart from them gates, which we have got, but you need to keep them safe. So you've got things like the front gates to a mausoleum, you've got the back fences and wall, and more wall there, and then all them bases and that statue. So it's all going to come together at some point. We should get this, I think, if I remember reading rightly, if I'm correct about this, in the next couple of weeks we'll get the other parts, which is cool. I'm looking forward to building it up, in all honesty, because I have wanted the mausoleum for quite a while. Right, and then your battle plan involves the mausoleum parts that we've already got, so you can kind of use them, so you can kind of get a bit of detail of how they're going to work in battle and stuff like that. So because you can use your different parts, so things like the fences, you can actually have units climb over them or fly over them, and your castigators, your ranged units, can fire through them, which is pretty cool. so you can keep things at range. So the way it's kind of worked is you've got that larger battle map that we got a few issues ago. The idea is use that, 3 castigators, 10 chain rasps, get them fences on in the buildings, and then you can use that terrain to plan your battle. The way this battle report goes is, and how it's kind of suggesting it can go for you, is you set your startup areas, you can get everything going. So of course castigators have burst of celestial energy, so if their bows explode in clouds of magical energy. Nighthawns actually have flying abilities, so they can fly, and so they can get through over terrain, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and then you've got your movement phases. So your movement phase, of course, is detailing if you run your castigators away, you can go behind that fence, so you can put a bit of distance between yourself and the chain rasps. For turn 1 for the Nighthawk, you can go forward, you can fly, so it tells you that they can fly any distance vertically, up and down, and yeah, you don't have to measure their flying movement, so you can fly them over, land them. As long as they're not on top of a normal model, you're all good. And then it just carries on like normal. So you've got things like firing through the actual fencing, so you can fire through. So of course, with this burst of celestial energy, if you roll a 6, it does 3 hit damage instead of 1. So it's like an explosion of power. So yeah, so you target 1 unit. So the way it seems to have worked is that that one hit, or that one didn't hit, that one kind of did very little, but that one hit that middle one and killed 3 in one go, which is pretty different from the looks of it. So yeah, it's not too bad. But a castigator cannot run if you want to shoot in the same turn. So of course stuff like that. Flying your chain rasps over, surround your enemies, pin them in, all that type of stuff, and play out how you want to play out, which is pretty cool. And you got your war scrolls as per usual. You just carry on playing through the game. But yeah, you've got more kind of detail, so things like the Nightmare Banshees can also fly, and they move a bit further, and the Glaive Wraith Stalkers can also fly. But looking forward to next week. So next week we get a new model, we get this Night Quester, so a new hero for the Stormcast Eternals. It's a pretty nice model really, isn't it? It's quite nicely sculpted. Bit more of an action kind of stance from it, which is always nice. Then issue 13, we've got a couple more paints, so we're getting Bad and Black, Mechanica Standard Grey, and a dry brush, and it will have details about how to paint your Sigmar Mausoleum with your new brush and paints. So it gives you a bit of detail of how to dry. I'm guessing it's going to be dry brush over a Bad and Black with Mechanica Standard Grey, gives it that dirty, grimy, dark look, which are pretty cool. So yeah, the magazine's going pretty well. It's quite nice. It's quite a decent magazine. And yeah, on that note though, I'm going to leave it there. This video's going on quite a while. It's quite a bit of rambling. Fair enough. As per usual, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and of course leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But otherwise though, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye now.